Evening YouTube. In this video I'm going to show you how to remove and replace the front and rear wheel of your Suzuki DRZ S or SM, because the same principle applies for the 17-inch rims like on my bike, or the Enduro wheels. Doesn't matter what you got, same principle applies. So what you need is tools for the job. You need a torque wrench, this one, because you need to retighten the axle nuts to a specified torque, a couple of wrenches, whichever wrenches you've got, and a 25mm or what is that, 15/16 socket, and a 12mm socket. I'll show you what those are for. A mallet there, and your MX stand, or well, you are going to need an MX stand or some kind of stand to raise the front wheel off the ground to take it off, and I'd advise the paddock stand to do the rear wheel. It's much easier with a paddock stand in my opinion. And a lovely cup of tea or your equivalent enjoyable beverage. Right, I'll get the camera set up and we'll crack on. Okay, so I haven't put it on the MX stand yet, or any other type of stand, and there's a reason for that. The reason is because you need to loosen these nuts here to take the front wheel off, and the wheel needs to be planted on the ground, because if you try and undo a nut with the wheel in the air, obviously the bike's going to be pivoting everywhere, and it's just going to be, it's impossible to do. So the wheel needs to be nicely planted on the ground on the side stand. First thing you need to do is, with your 12mm, where are we going? You need to loosen these nuts here. What these do is they clamp down on the axle which is inside to make sure that that it doesn't move when you're riding, and so that it just helps it not come out. So you need to loosen those that side. You don't need to take them out, just loosen them nicely like that, and do the same on the other side. Okay, now they're loosened, take your 25mm or 15/16 socket and wrench, and the camera's a bit close here, but anyway, place it over the axle nut like that. Try and put it at an angle so that you can push down into the ground, because then it keeps everything in place. So for example, if you put it here and try and pull up, you're going to lift the wheel off the ground and you're probably going to fall over and it's all going to go wrong. So you need to just to break that thread and start the undoing going. Bit of a tongue twister there. Get the ball rolling. You need to put it on, get it at a nice angle, and break it like that. And you need to take this all the way off, remembering what comes off in what order. So nut comes off, washer, there we are. Once you've got those these clamp ones loosened and you've got that axle nut off, what you want to do is put it up onto the MX stand. Now, to be honest, I probably should have left that nut on there. You know what, I'm going to put it back on. See that? You learn as you go. To put it on the MX stand just to make sure it doesn't fall out. It won't, but it's just best practice, and when you're doing a tutorial you should probably do it properly. Yeah, pop it on the MX stand now and we'll get the wheel off. So what you're going to do now is, we've got it up on the MX stand so the front wheel is off the ground. Get that axle nut off and pop it in that safe place. And now, this is kind of, it's not tricky, but it's a bit of a knack to it. You need to get a good hold of the wheel, like this, and you need to take your mallet, because you're going to need to knock this through. Ensure that you've got these undone and untightened, otherwise you're going to damage the bike. Make sure those are loosened, get a good hold of the wheel, kind of take the weight a little bit and just knock that through. And it comes out the other side and get a hold of it. So yeah, it's not ideal, but I don't have specialist tools in that, and this works without damaging it. So you just want to put it on there nicely and just really carefully knock it through. There you go, you heard it go. Take the weight of the wheel and just ease the axle out from that side. Put it in the safe place, and yeah, just slide the wheel out from here. The wheel will come out nicely. There are spacers on each side and the speedo drive on this side, so you want to make a note of which way they go in, but just help you out. The bigger spacer is on the right. I'll show you that from here. There you go, the bigger spacer is there. That's on the right hand side. So you want to take the weight of the wheel again, kind of hold it up like this, ease the axle in, don't force anything, just nicely get it through and get it lined up on this side. It's crucial you take the weight of the wheel, otherwise the wheel will hang down and you'll be hitting metal, because the wheel will be at this angle and the axle will be coming out at the wrong angle. So you kind of want to hold it up, get it through, use your hand, use the mallet there, just knock it through. If you're going to knock it through like that, or if you need to knock it through like that, make sure that it has started going through this part and you're not just knocking into the metal there, if this hasn't gone through the hole properly, because you're going to cause damage there. What you're going to do now is put that washer back on. Take, oh god, see that one dropped it now. Need to make sure there's no grit on it. You could put a like a towel down or something down so that if you do drop stuff it doesn't get grit on it, but it doesn't bother me that much, to be honest. So now that you've got that on finger tight, you need to whack it back off the MX stand and get it back onto the ground on the side stand, for the same reason as for taking it off, because the wheel needs to be planted on the ground so that you can really torque the nut up. So I'll be back in a sec with that. just kind of roll the wheel back into place. One of the difficulties is keeping the brake pads apart. You can use a clean screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver like this. Make sure it is cleaned off with kind of brake cleaner so it hasn't got grease on it, and you can kind of pry open the brake pads and kind of hold them open a little bit to get the rotor seated in there. Don't put too much pressure though, because you don't want to chip the pad. And on this side, make sure the space is in again, that side. Make sure the chain is behind the end of the swing arm, because if it's that side, like that, then you're not going to be able to get the chain back around to put it over. So make sure it is kind of rested there like that. We can clean that up later. Hold the axle like that, making sure the 7 is at the number 7 there is at the top. And just kind of, you have to lift the wheel a little bit, slide that through. And then when you get to the side, lift the wheel again, and get it all the way through.